Hello everyone, Jules here. There's a lot of fantastic titles in turn-based tactics genre, but sadly, that also means there's a lot of forgotten titles that actually still capable to give you amazing tactical experience even today. And to bring justice to these underdogs, I decided to give you my recommendation for some of the best forgotten titles that's still worth playing in 2024. Knowing that there's a lot of these forgotten games in the genre, there is no way this list will be enough to cover all of them, and that is why this video will act as the part 1 of the series.
That one's not a problem anymore.
Speaking of turn-based tactics games, I want to introduce you to the best platform for buying games in this modern era, and it's called instant gaming. Instant gaming is the perfect place for you to shop in games these days. Your transactions are legit, fast, and their supports are ready 24/7, so you don't need to worry about anything. And trust me, that's not even the best part. They have lots of games for your favorite platforms, and they have the best deals as well. Instead of cutting your budget for lunch to buy a new game, why not try instant gaming and eat healthy as well? All you have to do is just click my link in the description below, start searching for your favorite games, and use the activation code on your chosen platforms. By using my link, you're not only saving tons of money, but also helping me to support this channel. Alright then, let's get back into the list. Yggdra Union is a strategy RPG that follows young Princess Yggdra, the last remaining member of Anticinea's royal family. After a brutal invasion led by the Emperor of Carnage, Yggdra is forced to flee her shattered kingdom, carrying only her family's sacred sword, Grand Centurio. Combat in this game follows a standard players versus enemy turn system, but with each unit can only attack once per turn. By placing characters in specific formations such as an X pattern for male leaders and a plus pattern for female leaders, multiple units can attack consecutively, allowing you to unleash devastating combos. Luminous Arc 2 is a tactical RPG that balances straightforward gameplay with a strong story element. While it doesn't reinvent the genre, it offers an improved experience over its predecessor, with smoother mechanics and a sharper interface. The gameplay sticks to the core of what strategy RPG fans love, which consists of grid-based battles with turn-based mechanics. If you are into the art, the game has a great manga style, blending some great characters with beautiful music and the same intermission that made the first game so original.
Take this!
Onimusha Tactics is a tactical RPG where the evil warlord Nobunaga is back from the dead, terrorizing feudal Japan with an army of demonic Genma. The gameplay follows a simple, linear structure with battles that reveal more of the storyline as you go. The combat setup feels familiar, with Onimaru leading a team of up to 7 characters in grid-based combat against waves of Genma. Between battles, you can craft items or upgrade equipment using materials like Genma stones, earned by defeating enemies. Valkyria Chronicles 3 is a tactical RPG that takes the beloved tactical gameplay of the series back to its roots, swapping out the high school setting in the previous game for a gritty side story that feels closer to the spirit of the original game. In terms of gameplay, it stays true to the classic tactical formula fans love, with a mix of turn-based strategy and third-person action. The limited access to this game made it not as popular as the other entries, but I would say if you love the series, you have to try this game. Suikoden Tactics is a tactical RPG where you step into the shoes of Kirill, a young man whose father was killed while investigating mysterious rune cannons that transform regular folks into aggressive fish-like creatures. This backstory sets the stage for a classic RPG journey filled with familiar tropes, including treachery, war, and romance. But where the game really shines is in its gameplay. Each battlefield can be infused with one of 5 elements, and characters gain bonuses based on their elemental association and the terrain they occupy. Stella Deus is a tactical RPG that brings a unique set of mechanics and a beautifully ethereal visual style. However, it's the combat in this game that truly shines. You move your team across an isometric grid and use action points for everything you do, from moving to attacking. Instead of just running around the map and casting your strongest spells, you need to carefully plan each move, keeping an eye on AP cost to balance attacks, abilities, and defensive strategies.
Shooting star! Alright!
Don't miss!
Gotcha!
Codenamed S.T.E.A.M is a turn-based strategy game that brought a fresh twist to turn-based tactics with a unique blend of steampunk, historical figures, and fictional characters fighting aliens. What sets this game apart is its clever disguise as a third-person shooter. The turn-based action is powered by an action point system, allowing you to freely move around the map until you commit to an action. The close camera angle builds suspense as you survey the map, strategize, and deploy characters.
Ready for this? That one's not a problem anymore.
Advance Wars Days of Ruin is a turn-based strategy game that departs from the series' traditionally cutesy design in favor of a grittier tone. You play as Will, a young soldier clawing his way out of a catastrophe only to find the world devastated. Gameplay-wise, the battle mechanics retains the rock-paper-scissors style, where each unit has strengths and weaknesses. And while the campaign starts off easy, later missions pack a real punch, and some helpful tips in the mission info menu can make a huge difference if you're feeling stuck. Field of Glory 2 Medieval is a turn-based tactics game that puts you right in the thick of European conflicts from the 11th to 13th centuries. One of the most impressive things about this game is its focus on the details of medieval warfare. Each of the 100+ units are fully animated, bringing everything from English longbowmen to Mongol horse archers to life. Every army has its strengths, and the game challenges you to use formations, terrain, and timing to your advantage. Unity of Command 2 is a World War II strategy game that balances the complexity hardcore fans love with enough accessibility for newcomers to jump in without feeling overwhelmed. At its core, the combat system is easy to grasp. Each unit has steps that show its health and combat strength, and attached specialist steps like artillery or tanks can be added for extra punch. As you complete objectives, you will earn prestige, which you can spend on reinforcements and HQ upgrades. Before we go to the top 5, let's see some bonus games that might pique your interest. First, we have Strategic Mind Blitzkrieg. This is an intriguing addition to the tactical war game landscape, especially for fans of the classic Panzer General formula. While it doesn't quite match the realism and polish of Panzer Corps II, it's a fresh take on the genre with accessible gameplay for newcomers and enough tactical depth to keep veterans engaged. If you can overlook the limitations in its cinematic storytelling, Blitzkrieg provides an engaging tactical experience with historical flair and plenty of replayability.
Attention all hands, concentrate your fire.
Next, we have Fate Tactics. Fate Tactics serves up a fresh, streamlined take on turn-based strategy games, combining genre staples with unique twists that turn your roster into a versatile toolbox rather than a set team. The game strips away complex menus to create a smoother experience than traditional titles like Final Fantasy Tactics, making it a quick to learn yet challenging to master. Warhammer 40k Armageddon is a turn-based war game that brings the grit and brutal feel of the Warhammer universe to a straightforward hex-based battlefield. If you're a fan of Panzer Corps, this game will feel familiar, but instead of historical tanks and infantry, you're commanding Space Marines, Imperial Guardsmen, and Orc forces across a range of chaotic battlegrounds. What makes the game shine is its dedication to the Warhammer 40k lore. If you know the difference between laser guns and bolters or recognize a Predator tank when you see one, you will feel right at home. Brigandine: The Legend of Forsena is a strategy game set in the medieval-inspired kingdom, where peace has been shattered by the treacherous assassination of the king. The story is lightweight and the character development is minimal, leaving much of the plot pacing in your hands. But what really stands out in this game is the attention to tactical gameplay. From setting up armies to defending castles, the game constantly has you making critical strategic moves. Each turn, you will summon and manage monsters, set your knights on quests, and build out your battle lines with an impressive level of detail. Final Fantasy Tactics A2 is not as good as the original Final Fantasy Tactics, but even so, this is still a good addition to the series, especially if you compare it to the first Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. The graphics are better, various jobs and skills to set up your party, and the progression designs are more exciting, although it can be a bit grindy at times since you can only get equipment from loot or quests. Gladius is a strategy RPG set in a post-war world where two nations decide to resolve their conflicts through gladiatorial matches instead of traditional warfare. Gameplay-wise, one of the standout features of Gladius is its engaging turn-based combat system. While you can queue commands like some other strategy games, you have a swing meter that adds a level of excitement and skill to your attacks. You have to land your strikes in the critical zone of the meter for maximum damage, which make combat engagement dynamic. Before we go to the number 1, let's see some bonus games again. Wargroove brings back the beloved tactics-based gameplay reminiscent of Advanced War series. Unlike Fire Emblem, where individual heroes grow in experience and power, Wargroove emphasizes strategic summoning of units during battles. Though the campaign's pacing could be better in my opinion, the additional modes and extensive customization make Wargroove a deeply replayable title with endless potential for strategy fans. Next we have Demeo. Demeo brings the experience of tabletop RPGs to a digital platform that is well suited for VR or standard platform. Demeo is designed for up to 4 players, each able to jump into sessions at any time. With 7 character classes, each player has unique skills and a rotating set of abilities managed through a card system. Though characters are preset and lack deep customization, this approach lowers the entry barrier, letting newcomers and experienced players dive right in. Now, this one is actually a pretty new game, but since there are not many people talk about it, I decided to give it the attention that it deserves. Chaos Galaxy 2 is an ambitious and complex game that offers impressive replayability through its variety of factions, deep strategy mechanics, and engaging event-driven narrative. It may have a learning curve, but it's a rewarding experience for strategy fans looking for a game that brings tactical combat, grand strategy, and role-playing elements together in a galaxy-spanning saga. Fire Emblem Thracia 776 is not just your average tactical RPG. It's an interquel to Fire Emblem genealogy of the Holy War, crafted by the legendary Shouzo Kaga. One of the standout features of this game is the capture mechanic. Instead of simply defeating enemies, you can actually capture them. It's a total game changer that encourages you to think creatively during battles and strategize your moves. And every time your units perform actions on the battlefield, they build up fatigue. Once that fatigue exceeds their HP, those units are out for the next map. It encourages you to explore various approaches to your gameplay. Alright boys, I think that's it for today. I know that there are other great forgotten turn-based tactics games that I haven't mentioned yet, so how about sharing your best forgotten turn-based tactics games that probably deserve the spot in the comment section below. Don't forget to like the video and make sure to subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss another great list. Thank you for watching and have a good day. Peace.